Hi, I'm Adam Yenser, and welcome to the Canceled News. It's totally free and guaranteed to make you laugh or your money back. Please be sure to like and subscribe by tapping here. I'm pointing to the buttons below the screen, not my genitals. And come see me live. I'll be at the Funny Farm in Ohio, April 7th and 8th, and at the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood, April 14th. Now, I tape these episodes on Thursdays, and moments before we taped tonight, there was huge breaking news about an unprecedented and historic legal case. Today, for the first time in America's 247-year history, a jury decided to award Gwyneth Paltrow $1 because she didn't crash into that skier. If you haven't been following this case, some dude claimed she fell on top of him while skiing and made him smell like one of her stinky candles or something. Anyway, we're happy for Gwyneth and glad her legal fees will be covered so she can go back to selling $400 vials of skin cream. Now here's what else is in the news. In another breaking legal story, the Manhattan DA's office decided to indict former President Donald Trump, and these adorable Democrats are sure they've got him this time. The charges allege that Trump made hush money payments to a porn star and a Playboy model to hide his affairs. Regardless of how you feel about Trump, these charges are stupid. He's basically being indicted for the rich person version of deleting your browser history. In order to protect his reputation, Trump offered the DA $100,000 not to tell anyone about his hush money payments. Trump is, however, continuing his campaign for president. In an interview with Newsmax, he said he is not considering rival Ron DeSantis as a running mate and said it would be a very unlikely alliance, unlike the Democrats, who are running candidates who hate each other. The world's oldest drag queen, Darcel, died this week at the age of 92, while the world's youngest drag queen is still being groomed at your local library. CNN writer John Blake claimed in a new article that when white people use memes of black people, it's equivalent to digital blackface, leaving Americans wondering, huh? And really? CNN is still trying to determine whether Michael Jackson memes count as black or white. Two men fleeing from Cuba flew to Key West, Florida together in a motorized hang glider. And lucky for them, no one in Florida can say that's gay. In an Instagram post, Kanye West said that watching Jonah Hill in the movie 21 Jump Street made him like Jewish people again, and that after watching Marmaduke, he hates Pete Davidson again. To amend for his anti-Semitism, Kanye plans to build a time machine and go back to show baby Hitler 21 Jump Street. This week, President Biden awarded the National Medal of Arts to several entertainers, including Mindy Kaling. Biden said Kaling helped advance arts in America by being the first woman of color to create a primetime sitcom, and by making Velma, which we can use to torture prisoners in Guantanamo Bay. In an interview on The Daily Show, Joe Biden said that Florida's laws restricting transgender surgery for minors are close to sinful. It's insane that Biden would say something like this. What's truly sinful is performing irreversible gender surgery on children. As a Christian, I am 100% opposed to doctors cutting off a child's penis. Unless they're just cutting off a little bit of the child's penis, like God intended. The problem is these doctors are cutting off too much penis. I'm only in favor of doctors cutting off as much of a child's penis as doctors cut off of my penis. And if you disagree, you're a sick pervert. Speaking of amputations, Def Leppard's drummer Rick Allen is recovering after he was attacked and beaten outside of a Florida hotel. And this is terrible. Not only was Rick unarmed, he was even more unarmed than a regular person. Bucks County, Pennsylvania is suing several social media platforms, including TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, claiming that they cause anxiety and depression in young people, although some Pennsylvania residents seem completely unaffected. Late comedian Andy Kaufman, who participated in several wrestling stunts during his lifetime, will be inducted posthumously into the WWE Hall of Fame, and there's still a slim chance he'll show up to accept in person. An African serval rescued from a tree in Cincinnati tested positive for cocaine. Cops suspected it was on cocaine because it was out at 2 a.m. dressed in that gaudy cheetah print. Elizabeth Banks has already bought the rights to Cocaine Cat's story. In a tweet from their official account, Dove Soap criticized the Oscars for naming Brendan Fraser Best Actor, saying, "Stop giving fat suit awards. We want better representation in Hollywood. # Let's change beauty." Now, it's a dumb complaint, but from a business standpoint, it makes sense that a soap company panders to people with the most surface area. An Italian professor now claims that Leonardo da Vinci's mother was an Italian slave, San Francisco then voted to send his 22 living descendants $5 million each. An Australian startup company announced that they made a meatball out of lab-grown woolly mammoth meat. Said an excited Joe Biden, "I haven't had one of those since I was a kid." But congrats to this company for successfully bringing the extinct woolly mammoth back to dead. In perhaps the weirdest story of the week, Jordan Peterson is worried about what the Chinese are putting their Peters in. On his Twitter page, the Canadian psychologist shared a fetish porn video of a masturbation machine, mistakenly warning that it was a communist Chinese sperm factory. He also warned that due to supply chain shortages, 2 girls now have to use 1 cup. A New York animal shelter announced that after a 6-week training program, a destructive bulldog named Ralphie the Demon Dog has been adopted for the 4th time. Ralphie is described as mean, violent, and still safer for your kids than a pit bull. BuzzFeed is reportedly now publishing entire articles written by artificial intelligence, and publishing entire BuzzFeed quizzes written by artificial stupidity. A shoplifter in Oregon was sentenced to 70 months in prison for biting off a Nordstrom security guard's ear. Luckily, Nordstrom's was able to cover the victim's medical bills by selling 1 t-shirt. During a Texas A&M baseball game, a streaker in a Star Wars mask ran on field and pulled down his pants, as fans realized that's no space station, that's a moon. This week, Tom Brady bought a WNBA team and is now part owner of the Las Vegas Aces, officially making him the most recognizable athlete in the WNBA. Now, we all know there's also a very tragic story this week. A transgender shooter, a mentally disturbed woman who delusionally believed she's a man, attacked a Christian school in Nashville, killing 3 staff members and 3 9-year-old children. I'm not going to joke about that, obviously, but what is worth mocking is the disgusting way Democrats and the media treated this horrific story. CNN, who after shootings where the perpetrator was a white man, ran a front-page headline declaring, "There's nothing more frightening today than an angry white man," ignored the shooter's trans identity when placing blame, and even corrected she/her pronouns in statements from the police, replacing them with the suspect's last name. MSNBC, who usually runs multiple headlines about the motive in mass shootings, such as "The Racist Theory That Allegedly Motivated the Buffalo Shooter Explained," and "Buffalo Shooting Underscores Importance of Anti-Racism Lessons for White Children," in this case, of the 3rd transgender mass shooter in recent memory, deliberately dismissed motive, saying the Nashville shooter's motive distracts from America's biggest problem. Reuters decided to identify the shooter as Christian rather than the victims. And Joe Biden, who made sure to express sympathy for the bullshit made-up hate crime against Jussie Smollett, in this case laughed about ice cream, then deliberately joked that he didn't think the dead Christian kids were targeted.
And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip. I came down because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream.
Do you believe that Christians were targeted in Nashville school shooting? Do you believe that Christians were targeted?
I have no idea.
Josh Foley believed they were. What do you say to that?
Well, I probably don't then.
Probably don't.
No, I'm joking. No, I have no idea.
Then at a press conference 2 days after the transgender murderer killed Christian kids, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said this.
It is shameful, it is disturbing, and our hearts go out to the trans community as they are under attack right now.
The media and Democrats care more about pushing their agenda and supporting this transgender mind virus than they do about dead kids. And if you keep supporting them, there's something wrong with you. That's it for the canceled news. I can't wait to read the comments.